Now, what if I want the line through the same point we were given in the last slide, but perpendicular to the line we were given? Now, this equation came out to be y equals negative 2/3 x plus 2 when we solved for it. But now I want the slope to be perpendicular. So I'm going to use the formula. Perpendicular slope is negative 1 over m. So I'm going to have perpendicular slope is negative 1 divided by negative 2/3. That's negative 1 divided by negative 2/3. When we're dividing fractions, we keep the first number the same, change from division to multiplication, and flip the second fraction. My negatives cancel out, so I'm left with 3/2. Otherwise, the negative reciprocal. So this is my new slope to find a line perpendicular through the specific point that's perpendicular to the equation given. So now I just substitute back in, right? There's lots of different ways we can use point slope form. So I have y minus a negative 6 equals 3/2 times x minus a negative 3. That leaves me with y plus 6 equals 3/2 times x plus 3. I can go ahead and multiply through. I have y plus 6 equals 3/2 x plus 9/2. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 6 from both sides. That gives me y equals 3/2 x plus 9/2. Now, how could I write negative 6 as a fraction over 2? That'd be negative 12 over 2. So my final answer, ding, 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 is y equals 3/2 x minus 3/2. Whew! That was a lot of work. I believe this is my last example of using the point slope form, and it's what happens when you aren't given the slope. Well, luckily, we know how to solve for slope, right? It's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we can go ahead and find our slope. So I have negative 7 minus 3 over 5 minus negative 4. Oh, is this like a really ugly slope? Oh, it's so ugly. Okay, so I've got 10 over 9. We're going to do it. We're going to power through. We got this. I can't guarantee it's going to be pretty, but don't be afraid of fractions. We got this. So I have, heaven help me, y minus, now what do I pick? I could actually use either point, but I'm going to go ahead and use this one that I labeled x1, y1. So I've got y minus 3 equals 10/9 times x minus a negative 4. So I have y minus 3 equals 10/9 x plus 4. I need to go ahead and distribute. Y minus 3 equals 10/9 x plus 40/9. Ooh, we're getting somewhere. Now I need to write 3 as a fraction with a denominator of 9. So that'd be y minus 9, 18, 27/9, because 27 divided by 9 is 3. So I'm going to go ahead and add 27/9 to both sides. That'll give me y equals 10/9 x plus 40/9 plus 27/9. That means y equals 10/9 x plus 67/9, and that can't be simplified anymore. Oof. So you may want to write this as a mixed number. It might make it a little easier for you to graph if you can see what the whole part is.